the Posies. You know, at one point we did pretty well. At one point, we weren't like the most massively successful band to hail from Seattle, but we did pretty good. You know, it wasn't like a level of like Soundgarden or Pearl Jam, Nirvana, etc. But I mean, let's be fair. At the time, that wasn't the music the Posies were doing wasn't exactly the soup du jour, really. You know, so it was always kind of against the grain a little bit. That said, it did get us to Europe for the first time, which is actually, I made the move. I live in Europe now after the last couple years, and I started going to Europe in 1993, and just really fell in love with it. There's a band called Teenage Fan Club that some of you might be aware of. Great band. I know this sounds totally horrible, but my first trip to Europe was 2 months opening for Teenage Fan Club in all the major capitals of Europe, you know, continental Europe and the UK. I know, dirty job if somebody's going to do it. And it's weird because some of the places in Europe really took a shine to us, and one of them was this place called France. Now, back in the day, we actually had like a legitimate hit in France with this next song. And it was enough that I went to a supermarket in France once, and I heard this song playing in the supermarket. I was like, and we did a press conference at a festival in France once, and the next day in the paper there was it wasn't just a photo of all four of us, it was like 4 individual photos with, you know, they caught us like mid, like, and like, you know, where it looks like you're saying something really important and cool, and then they put a quote, you know, from each of us underneath each individual photo. Very cool. Now, the weird thing about France is that apparently once they like you, they don't forget about you, like ever. Like Jerry Lewis is very popular in France, and Woody Allen, right? Even though maybe some of his movies don't do as well here now. Not the same in the case of the Posies. Like really, like even though I live pretty close to that whole thing now, or in it sometimes, I never do much there as far as playing with the Posies or solo or whatever. It's kind of ironic, but I gotta digress a little bit by talking about how the Posies had kind of a hit with this song. It was enough that at one point in my life, I may or may not have been watching a show on television that I'd heard was kind of a cultural touchstone for America. It was a show called Beavis and Butthead. And I might have been flipping through the channels one day, and, you know, I see Beavis and Butthead, and I think Cher is on there, and they're making fun of Cher. I'm cool with all this shit. And all of a sudden, like, I see myself, like, jumping around in the snow from the video for this next song that I play, and, like, they're, like, going, like, I could scream all day, I could do, and it was only, like, 20 seconds, and I'm just like, alright, so, fast forward to, I'm on tour in Europe for the 2nd or 3rd time after this great introduction, and now we're playing festivals in places like the south of France, and Belgium, and some cool places. We were driving, I think, from the south of France on our way to Belgium when we got pulled over by the French military. Now, musicians, I mean, come on, we're the scum of the earth, we're criminals, we're all, you know, drug dealers. I mean, it's like, that's kind of our position in society, I think, really. That's what people think of us, especially guys who are in the military, maybe, or cops or whatever, you know? So, there's no cops here tonight. We get pulled over, and you know, the guy's got a machine gun. They get us out of the vehicle. They line us up. You know, they take our passports, and they start. There's one guy in front, and there's a guy in the back with a machine gun. And there's a guy in the, you know, the guy in the front with the passports is looking incredibly cool and bored at the same time, as only the French can do. He's like flipping through the passports very dramatically. And he's like, so, you're musicians. And I'm like, I'm shaking. I'm like, you know, the phrase is shitting bricks. That's what I was just like, oh my God. And they're like, yeah, we're musicians. He's like, what is the name of your group? And I'm like, oh, you would have never heard of this band before. This band from America, we're called the Posies, and the flipping stops. And the guy looks back at the guy with the machine gun, he's like, the Posies, and he flips again. I could dream all day. I could dream all day. And we're like, no fucking way. We're like high-fiving the guys. We're taking pictures of the machine guns. Anyways, I don't say this a lot, but tonight this one is for the French.
Got a lot of plans. I lost a lot of sleep trying to understand. I could dream all day, I could dream all day, I could dream all day, I could dream all, I could dream all day, I could dream all day, I could dream all day. In a blackened room, staring into space, underneath 1,000 blankets, just to find a place where everything is reachable, imagining it's safe. I tried to make it so, I didn't even know. I could dream all day, I could dream all day, I could dream all day, I could dream all, I could dream all day, oh, I could dream all day, I could dream all day. Dreamt I was awake, my mouth was colored gray, and as the world revolved around me, I could only say, I could dream all day, 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 I could dream all, I could dream all day, I could dream all day, oh, I could dream all day, oh, I could dream all day, oh, I could dream all day.